Hello, everyone. Welcome back. We're playing the Artisan of Glimmith. This is our fourth episode here. We're going to jump right in. We are working on the rose-colored section, and the way this game works, this is your first time seeing this. These are just puzzles, but they're all logic puzzles. They're unique. There's unique solutions that can be logically deduced. There's no guessing required. That's the fun of the puzzle. Figure out how to work from first principles to arrive at solutions. So the puzzle here is we need to connect cells together to create a region, and each region has to have exactly one of each of the shapes. Now we can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 circles, 5 triangles, and 5 squares. So there'll be 5 regions, each of one. So let's start with this. Now a region can never cross a border line. So this will be part of a region. It must grow. So it's going to grow out this direction. Now, these two regions cannot be the same because they already have a circle. You only have one circle. So I'm going to grow this region, and it has to grow at least to there. Could grow more. It has to grow more, but I don't know exactly where it goes. Let's start with this guy. Let's go. I'm just going to go through different places. This has to grow, and this has to grow. So I want all my colors. Do not deprive me of my colors. All right. Those have to go together. We have something similar here. These have to go together. Now, this already has a square, so that is off limit. So this will grow downwards. It needs a triangle. It could take one from here, here, or here. It will not be this one. And I can say why it's not this one. That would separate this triangle. If I came down this direction like this, where does this triangle get a square or a circle? There's nothing that can reach it because it's cut off. So we know it's not this one. It could be this one could join, or this. No. Hold on. This cannot go this direction. Oh, no. Colors, don't do that. I want all my colors. Don't use this scroll bar. All right. It can't go this way and it can't grow that way because that would loop around across this border here. So this will grow down like that, and it's the same problem. Can this triangle go anywhere except this green region? If it didn't go in this green region, it has nowhere else to grow. So this does have to go this direction. I cannot go up into that region. This could grow a little further down. I'm not going to opine on that as of yet. Let's look down here. These have to connect together. Oh, actually, I will come back to this. Can this region come here? The answer is no. So what region goes here? It has to be a region along the bottom. It's going to be this region. I'll come back to that shortly, but that's how that's going to get resolved. This is a separate region. It comes around. It goes out. That has to be that way. This has to come out. Cannot connect to there. Has to come out. Does not connect to here. Does not connect to here because that can't be the same region. We still have to keep growing. So it comes down to here. Can't go in there. It's going to have to take this spot. Nothing else can take that spot. It has to keep growing. So it's out to here now. Okay. This is going to need... Interesting. Did I mess something up here? Oh, it gets this red one right here. I think it's going to have to grab this red one right here. I think these two have to be the same region. Because here's the question, where does this one get a blue one? And the answer is it's not this blue one. It's not this blue one. And it's not this blue one. It has to be that blue one. So yeah, these are connected. And where do we go from here? Well, this orange that has to grow down. So that has all of its colors. And this now forces this to come around. Again, the orange cannot cut back this direction and it cannot cut back this direction. Which then says this triangle must be connected to whatever. And I think I just put Q to fill this in. How do I want to connect those together. Yeah. All right. So this one is fully combined. We do need all of basically everything else is going to fill from this color here. So this is going to take all of this, come in here, take this, and stop right there. Oh, not this one. Hold on. That one. This hasn't grown yet. Don't do that. That one has to grow. This cannot be part of that region because of this. That has to connect there. Yeah. Very nice. All right. Each region has to connect. We have 4. We have to. So basically, we just need to draw a line from each circle to each square somehow. That's what how this puzzle is going to connect. So these have to be separate regions. This has to grow. It can't grow up. So it's going to grow down. This region has to grow out. It can't be this region because it's on the same side. So that is off limits. Same thing with this. This can't take this one because that's off limits. So this has to grow down. This has to come out. This has to come out. This cannot go up. So it has to go like that. This cannot connect to that region. So it has to come down. It needs to keep growing. This one has to keep growing. These are not the same region. So that keeps growing. That keeps growing. This keeps growing. This keeps growing. This now is a new region. So these are all growing. So I think we just have to keep, that has to grow. This has to grow. This has to grow. Okay, so I don't know who takes this one. We'll come back to that. But this one needs to grow. So that comes out this way. This needs to grow. That has to grow. Wow. Okay, this cannot go up. So that's off limits. So that has to grow. This has to grow. This has to grow. This has to grow. This has to grow. Get all my border lines in. Just tidy it up while I'm looking around. So this region here, how many regions have I drawn? Because there's 1, 2, 3. So one of these is a duplicate region. Orange is not pink or cyan or green. It can't be. But so orange, these are all. So this blue one is either orange or pink. It's not the teal. But I don't know which one it is. But it's got to get over here somehow. This one, so there's the corollary to that is this green, I think, has to connect to this red. Because this green cannot connect. Could it connect to this pink? I think the answer is no. And the reason I can say pretty definitively it's not connecting to pink is no matter how I draw this, I'm going to circle this. Well, that could work. If I circled this and then orange connected to that, but then what is this one? This one connects up to here. See, that's a problem. This can't connect to here and let this one connect to here. Because that, I can't get around. This cannot get around the outside of this. And so we'd have like they have to cross each other. Could this one loop around that way? Maybe. That could happen. But then I'd have to go around this. And then this one can connect here and this one goes around. The problem is I can't get this one to pink now because they're both going through the same channel. This is very tight getting through this channel right here. So where does this circle connect? It could connect to green. We could just do a loop around all the way around. That does work. This just connects straight up to here. No. See, this is the problem one. This has to be, there's only 4 regions. This blue has to be either cyan, green, orange, or pink. It's not green and it's not cyan. So it has to be orange or pink. This line, this blue line, has to make it to this side of the board. So here's the question. Does it go above these or does it go below them? And if it's going to orange, it has to go above. Maybe it could be half and half. But here's the other part. Something's got to go here that's not blue. And that's an interesting. So pink can come around this way. It can't go in. So if pink came in here and took that, then this could come around and take but then this one would have to somehow get to here or to here, and this one comes around that way. That's probably what happens. All right, so how do we prove that? That's the speculation here. Let's work this out. Let's work this out a little bit more piecemeal here, and we just have to ask the right questions. So the first question I have is, are these two the same color? If this was not the same region, it would come out like this. This is not the same region. It could come down, but it creates a weird region at the top. That seems purposeless. I mean, deep down, it feels like all 4 of these are the one region. It just feels like, but that does not, just because it feels that way does not mean that is the case. What about this? Could these two be different regions? Could I put a line here? If I did that, that goes here, that goes there. This is a separate region now. Because of the, I put a line there. And I mean, that's going to create all kinds of weird problems. Like this has to get to a circle. And it could come down here and get to this one like that. But I've got a crossover. I mean, again, like what am I doing with this? Because this cannot connect to that one. This one has to connect here. And this one has to connect here. That, I mean, that just doesn't work. That does not work. I have a feeling this has to come up. How do I prove that? Let's start with this. This has to be a different region than this one. This has to expand. This has to come up. This is all good. This is all forced. This has to expand. Has to expand. This has to expand. This has to expand. This has to expand. It can't go this way. This is off limits. So this has to expand. This has to expand. This has to expand. So this is a separate region up here. This has to expand. This has to expand. So this has to take this one. Just like that. This has to expand. This has to expand. This has to take here. That has to go there. This needs to expand. This is not. Let me draw all of my lines. That is all off limits. This has to expand. It has to take that one. These are not the same. Let's change those colors. Yeah, that's better. This has to expand. This has to expand. Expand, expand. It goes there. Okay. And then this one takes there. That's it. I like that one. I like that one. I played around with it a little bit till we got to the logic here, and it came down to understanding that this had to be a different region. And once I started expanding that region, it made the other ones kind of fall into place here. All right, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 regions. This is separate. This is separate. Just going to go through. All of these have to be in separate regions. We make that very plain and obvious. So let's start growing them. This has to get to a blue. It's not here. It's not here. It's not here. This has to grow. This has to grow. Those are separate. Okay, this has to grow. This has to grow. This has to grow. Can't be here. Can't be here. These can't go. So that one grows. This one grows. This one is complete, but it could still grow, just fill in other spaces. So we're not going to make any assumptions regarding that. This continues to grow. These were all different. That's all different. This continues to grow. Continues to grow. This one has to grow. This grows all the way around. This one grows all the way down. And this one is now forced into the bottom. This is forced. This is forced. I don't know about here. We'll leave that open. This has to come around all the way around. These are not. That can't. This grows. This grows. This can't go up. So this grows this way. This grows this way. This grows this way. Does not go here, so it goes that way. So that is complete. This one's still not complete. Has to grow, has to grow. This has to grow. This has to grow. Does not go here. All right, this one needs to grow. It has to go there. It's not this one. It's not that one. So that region's complete. That region's complete. This has to grow. And these look like they're going to have to connect. They have to connect because otherwise they block each other. This is not the same region, so it has to grow. This has to grow. This has to grow. That has to grow. All right. Not too difficult. 2 regions. All right. This is interesting in here because like that's a region. Like this region could go like this, but neither one could go up. No, actually this can't be. These cannot. Like it could go here at the most. That's an interesting setup. All right. So these are divided in half. What I'm like, this is a very interesting setup down here because you can't just snake through it, right? But I do have to take all of these. All of these have to be in a region. So let's say where does this one? How there's only 2 regions. So if this is region 1, I can say it can go up. But then this over here is region 2. Like these two, no matter I guess these could be in the same these two cannot be in the same region. Let's start with that. This is a region and that is a region. These two can't be in the same region, so it goes like that. So next thing, these two can't be in the same region. But could this ever be yellow? Could yellow ever be here and purple be here? And the answer is no, because purple could never connect to there. So this would have to be purple, and this would have to be yellow. And this can't be, this has to be yellow, like that. Now I can't say for sure what this is. Purple could come down, but then this would have to be yellow. Or purple could come down here, and this would have to be yellow, but then purple would be disjoint. So purple cannot come down here. This has to be yellow. Purple comes down here. Purple expands. This cannot be purple. Purple expands. Yeah, purple comes all the way up here. This is yellow, so yellow has to connect. Purple has to expand. It can't go into the top. Purple has to expand. This is a region. This is yellow. This is yellow. And it has to expand. And it has to expand. Purple has to expand. Purple's done. Everything else is yellow. Yeah. All right. Window complete. Oh, we made it silver. Oh, we're doing good. Let's keep going. All right, we're doing rows again. Looks like we have 2 regions. So region 1. And this is all one region. This is forced, but these are not in the same region. So this is region 2 here. And we can just kind of do that. There's region 2. So this needs a red one, so it's going to come around like that. And I think there we go. That was trivial. Okay. I'm not sure why that was a 2. 2 regions. All right. So reds are up here. We got the greens. These are separated. So our 2 regions are represented right here. So this region has to grow. It could grow down. Could grow up. What does this connect to? So here's the crux of this, and I just want to point out that from a puzzle making perspective, when we see these edge borders here, that should immediately attract our attention, because these borders are forcing one color to be on the outside and one color to be on the inside. So I wish if we say this is color 1, then by definition this is color 2. And the same thing's true down here. Now, orange and green, blue, and the 2, like there's 2 of these connect to each other. I don't know which one. Well, I kind of do, don't I? There's no way that blue connects to orange. Blue has to connect to the cyan, and the green has to connect to orange. That's if you can't see that, that's there's no way to loop around the outside edge. When we have 2 patterns like this, we can't cross over. And so there's kind of a corollary to that is, could this ever be the orange/green color? And the answer is no. Like this can't be because there's no way for it to get around the blue. There's only 2 regions. So we can say definitively that the entire outside edge is that color, because that same logic applies. It's not just the corner, it's the entire edge. And we can do the same thing on the top. There's no way for this to be blue. There's just no way for it to go around. So we can just say this goes like that. But now this does help us understand that this is going to be the blue. And this one is going to be orange. So it can't go this way. So orange is definitely going to do this to get here. The orange still has to grab this yellow, but it can't block the red. This orange and these are separate. So the blue is going to have to snake around like this to get there, and the orange will have to snake around like that. I want to see if there's an easier way to visualize that. These two cannot be in the same region, right? The 2 reds are separate, and we've already have the blue. So this has to be the orange triangle, and this has to be the blue circle, the blue region circle. So I've got to get this into blue. And so let me, if I'm just assuming this is blue, let me see if I can, yeah, there we go, blue. This has to go, it can't take that, it has to go all the way around. And then we do still need the square, and so then it comes in and grabs that. And then this comes in like that. So that's that one. All right, rose windows. Each region has exactly 1, so we have 2 regions, and this is interesting here because we got the 2 red circles over here and the 2 green diamonds on this side. So the regions do have to cross all the way over, and we have these little zigzags through here that because they're not going to ever do anything like that. That's illegal. So you could do this, but then you can't come up. You'd have to come down. And this creates a problem because we know the regions have to cross through. And as soon as I've done this pattern, I can't get out. So this is an important clue here as to what we need to do. Both colors need to be able to get through here. And as soon as that happens, this one has to come out this way. This one has to come out that way. This now needs to get to this side, so it has to come up, this has to come down. But here's the catch. This one cannot go up. We've got to, because it can't, this is a border here. So this orange is going to have to come all the way around like that. Similarly, this can't be orange, so this blue has to come all the way around. Now, blue already has a square, so that is not going to be blue. Blue does need a circle, so that works out. Orange does need this diamond, and blue needs a let's not do that. Let's get it back to blue because I was calling it blue. All right, so blue does need a triangle. And so the question of what goes here, and this line, I did not put that line in, so this cannot be blue. This has to be orange. All right. We'll do one more. 3 circles, 3 triangles, 3 diamonds. It's a rose window. It needs exactly 1 of each. This is going to be very constrained. This is going to be very constrained. Let's start drawing regions, folks. So this region has to come out, cannot go through there, has to come out, does not go through there. This region needs to grow. This region needs to grow. This region needs to grow, continue to grow. So that goes there. These come all the way up. This comes out. This comes all the way out. All right, so what have we got to so far? We got to here. Let's do the same thing from the top. This region has to grow. 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 All right, we've grown all these regions. and they've all arrived at the crossroads. This region does need to grow. This region needs to grow. This one needs to grow. Well, these have already connected. I mean, this is a dead end. This just has to take all of this, and that's a region. I mean, it could grow out this way a little bit, but now we've got an interesting dilemma. This one already has a triangle. It needs a circle. If I take this circle, it doesn't matter if I go up around this way or around this way. I separate this square from the rest of the board. So this cannot be the circle. I have to take this circle. But I can't cut this triangle off. If I go up the middle, this triangle will be cut off. So I have to loop around the triangle like this. And that is going to leave me with everything else going to the middle. All right, folks. I think that does it for this episode. I hope you're enjoying this. We're having fun just going through these puzzles. I enjoy the puzzle games. I hope you do too. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. We'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.